This is Dr. Bev Knox, and you are listening to my Psychology Tutorials. Learn psychology while you sleep. Power is the most critical component in negotiating. That power comes from understanding yourself and using all of the interpersonal skills. There are factors that arise in the negotiation process that are usually referred to as sources or types of power. It is important not to be intimidated by these factors. Generally, the existence or extent of the power will depend upon the counterpart's perception. There are at least 12 specific sources or types of power that arise in negotiation: legitimacy, position, expertise, reward, coerciveness, restraint, situation, identification, time, popularity, persistence, and patience. Power comes in several forms. Television broadcasts, particularly news programs and documentaries, are examples of this power. The printed word is another form that one has that is often present in negotiations. We are all conditioned to believe the truth in its written form. Title or position carries a form of legitimacy power, often referred to as position power. This category includes positions, professional licenses and certifications, and degrees of education. When your counterpart is clearly aware that you know of his or her position power, it would be disrespectful to openly pretend it does not exist. Reward power can also be real or imagined. If you think that someone can affect you, that person has power over you. It can relate to emotions or tangible things. For example, if someone knows that it is important to you to be recognized, even with a warm greeting or a birthday card, that person can affect your emotions and, therefore, your behavior by withholding that recognition. The authority to promote is another example of reward power. Coercive power is the power to do something unpleasant or unwanted to another person. It is a power that is used in a competitive negotiation style. It may be the power to punish or embarrass. Referent power is the easiest to understand in the context of negotiation. It is reference power that sells a great volume of merchandise. People buy particular brands of sport shoes because they identify with the famous athlete who wears the brand and they want to be like him or her. Referent power is closely associated with your personality and your personal style. It is not present in all negotiations. However, do not neglect to look for it. Situation power is understood by the fact that the facts and circumstances you face may on occasion simply be to your disadvantage. In such situations, especially, you must determine in your preparation stage whether there exists an acceptable alternative to the negotiated agreement. Identification power is the power to relate to another person. It is different from referent power discussed earlier when you convey understanding, empathy, cooperation, and respect, as well as a willingness to create a mutual solution. You create the power of identification. Early and extensive planning are the best antidotes to negative time pressure. Individuals with type A personality characteristics likely are most susceptible to negative effects from being subject to this power. Popularity power is sometimes referred to as the power of competition or needs. A good example is the fact that people will not loan you money as long as they think you need it and have no options. When you are perceived as needy or desperate, the value of all that you possess declines in the minds of others. Quiet but resolved tendency is the powerful tool of negotiation. A proposal rejected once is not necessarily dead. Using the persistence power is not continually repeating the same words. It is to resist giving up. It is to find different ways to explain and support your proposal. It is to find additional mutual benefits in your proposal. Patience is often ignored as a power, but it can be the greatest power of all. Patience is also helpful when analyzing your options. Individuals with type A personality characteristics will likely find this power somewhat difficult to use. Power may be real or perceived. Power is used to play psychological games. Games and power over techniques are aggressive and competitive and typically generate destructive outcomes. Most power requires enabling by the person it would affect in order to have any effect. We often permit others to have power over us. The recipient of a con game or head game may counteract such efforts by maintaining self-control and guarding against misperceptions.